Good morning again. It's me, Sandy Njilo, Africa Ghana Investment Management Services, PDY Limited, an authorized financial services provider. We are once again continuing with our discussions on the Government Employee Pension Fund. As we saw in our last videos of how the divorce calculations are being done. Now, our focus for today is going to be mainly on the comparisons of the booklets, which we call, or the summary of the rules. Today there is a guide which we call the GPF Members Guide, which is online, which is available from all the regional offices of the GPF, and which is the GPF, which is the main document that the GPF goes around communicating to its members. But there is a little bit of a problem here, in the sense that I've got the very same, or not the very same, because it's not the same. I've got a version of the Members Guide for 2004, which I got hold of when I started discovering the workings of the State Pension Fund. Now, that 2004 version of the Government Employee Members Booklet was very clear, it was technical, it was a summary of the rules, which is the Schedule 1 of the Government Employee Pension Law. And it was also noted within the very same booklet that this is the summary of the main provisions contained in the rules of the fund. And any discrepancy between the information and the law and the rules will prevail. So that was very clear on that 2004 version of the member guide. Now today we have got this version of the member guide. Now, and this version of the member guide is completely different from the version that we had in 2004. Now, the version that we had in 2004 made it possible and easier for people like myself, who are financial advisors, who are advising state pension fund members, to work out member benefits manually without having to rely on any electronic calculators that the GPF has established over the years. But this summary, the 2004 version, has disappeared, and it has been replaced by this GPF membership guide. Now, it is not clear to me if this is a replacement or it's something completely new, because these two documents are not the same. But for the benefit of those who are listening and watching, the membership guide or booklet or the fund rules are meant to provide material information necessary for members to make informed exit decisions. It also helps us to help those members to make informed decisions. So now this guide, which is the current membership guide, this guide, what is remarkable about this guide is inconsistencies. Now, this membership guide, the current membership guide, is inconsistent with itself. It is inconsistent with the GEPF law that it's supposed to be derived, and it's also inconsistent with the 2004 version of the member booklet. So the question is, what happened to the 2004 version now that we've got a new version that is completely inconsistent with everything that one can pick up? Now, I would like to stop here so that we can show what I've done. I've put up a presentation in forms of the charts where I'm looking at each and every element of inconsistency within the membership, the current membership guide, and also question certain things that are no longer in the membership guide of today that were there in the membership guide of 2004. And the question is, why were such material information removed from the old guide or from the new guide, and why? So let's look at that in details, going through page by page of this guide, looking at what is missing, what is inconsistent, what has been omitted. And of course, we'll never be able to get to the answer of why did such material information suddenly disappear. As we mentioned earlier on, we're still in the process of comparing the two booklets, which we call the GPF membership guides. One is the version of 2004 and the other one is the current version. Now what we're going to be illustrating on these charts are the differences and also what I call the summary of inconsistencies, and to a certain extent the complete misrepresentation and omission of material information from the current guide. Now, on the introductory page of the current guide, the GPF relationship with GPA, it says it's defined in the SLA, which is that SLA. But my question is, does this SLA really exist between GPA and GPF? Remember, GPA is the Government Pension Fund Administration Agency, which is doing administrative work on behalf of the GPF. So, and that is defined in the form of an SLA. But does that SLA really exist? Now, the next one is that on the page 5 of the same introduction of the member booklet, the GPF says the member benefits are guaranteed. Now, I found this very strange because it does not say what exactly is guaranteed between the pension payments and the pension increases. Now, the pension payments, yes, if one retires within the Government Employee Pension Fund, the payments are guaranteed for the rest of his life. But the pension increases are not guaranteed. That will be dependent on the fiscus and how funded is the Government Employee Pension Fund. So to say that member benefits are guaranteed is not a true and a correct statement. Now, on the very same introduction page, the GPF says the member benefits are protected against inflation. Now the question is, how are those benefits protected by inflation? As far as I know, inflation is our enemy number one of any investment in any money. So to say that the member benefits are protected against inflation is not really true. Okay, let's go on now to page 9 of the member guide, which says, if GPF members are not sure about any aspects of their membership, they must speak to their human resource representative. Well, I don't know why should they speak to their human resource representative when there is a fund administrator, and therefore if there are any problems, the members can speak directly to their fund administrator, who will probably have more information about the fund than the human resource representative. Now that again is very strange. Now on page 13 of the very same membership guide, the GPF says the easiest way to keep track of your GPF service date is to keep your first pay slip showing contributions of GPF, which has the service date printed on it. Check the membership certificate you received and query anything that does not agree with the information at your disposal. If you are unsure, speak to your human resource representative. Once again, whatever that has got to do with the GPF is pointed to the human resource representative and not the fund administrator, which is very strange. Now let's look at this statement alone. The fact that the statement talks about the pay slip is also strange. So basically, the way this has been put, the suggestion above, seems to put the payslip above the membership certificate as the proof of membership to the fund, and that is incorrect. Now, the payslip is a property of human resources, and it only reflects the pension contribution deducted by the employer on behalf of the fund. It is by no way the proof of membership to the fund. Now, once again, the payslip as a proof of membership to the fund is not in the GEPF law, so therefore it is unlawful. It cannot be regarded as the proof of membership to the fund. So once again, this statement is wrong. But just on this statement, if you remember what happened to the people of KZN whose files were lost in transit in 2004, and they were asked to prove their membership to the fund by way of providing pay slips, that's when this thing was sneaked into these rules. Because in the GEPF membership guide of 2004, there is no such statement. The GPF membership guide of 2004 neither speaks about payslip nor membership certificate. But if anything has to prove, or anyone has to prove his membership to the fund, the membership certificate will be much more acceptable than the payslip, because the payslip is not in the law. So membership certificates are issued by the fund, and therefore the only lawful proof of membership to the fund. And any queries related to the membership certificate must be directed to the fund or its administrator and not the human resource representative. So which means this on its own as a membership guide, in the membership guide, it's wrong. Only the membership certificate can be used as a proof of membership to the fund and not pay slips. So that's again is another inconsistency with regard to these guides and the law.